it. We've been through a 6-year period of only one NIT appearance, and it's so badly needed, and this is our real shot, so we want to take advantage of it.
Trouble is, UNC Wilmington's Jerry Wainwright has brought his creative defensive schemes designed to take opponents out of their offense into the championship game.
So we've just really stressed the defense to try and stay competitive in games and be a hard team to beat. That's our only goal. So, I think the kids embrace the fact that we try to play tournament basketball in each and every game during the season and try and really value possessions and not give up easy baskets. And, we've been lucky in this tournament. It's worked.
So VCU's inside strength and powerful transition game will be tested by UNCW's uncanny ability to control the pace. The invitation to the Big Dance next. The long and winding road of 7 tournament games have brought us to our final destination, and only 2 teams have avoided all of the speed bumps and all of the potholes. Number 1 VCU and number 3 UNC Wilmington. Hi everyone, and welcome to the CAA Championship game on HTS. We're glad you're with us. I'm Bob Black. My broadcast partner is Kevin Greavy. For VCU, tonight's a chance to finish off a great first impression, winning the league championship in their first year in the league. For UNC Wilmington, they're hoping that the 3rd time is the charm, their 3rd CAA title game, looking for their first berth. Kevin, either way, no player on this floor has experienced the NCAA tournament, so tonight is both a dream and a goal.
Well, Bob, this is a chance of a lifetime for these players. Ever since they laced up their sneakers, they have dreamt about playing in an NCAA tournament, and these dreams could become reality. They've got the win here tonight.
We are going to talk an awful lot about defense tonight, particularly for UNC Wilmington. But sooner or later, Kevin, the Seahawks are going to have to score some points.
Well, they really are. And, the ball's going to be in the freshman point guard, Billy Donlan's hands. He's going to direct the offense, and it's a very deliberate one. He's a very savvy player, and a player who averages 8 points a game, but has that kind of impact to win or lose it. When it's in his hands, he's made great decisions so far in the tournament. The one guy they want to get the ball to is Darren Moore. He's had a terrific tournament, not just offensively, but defensively. As he shut down the hot guns for Old Dominion, Joe Bunn and Odell Hodge, he's going to have to do the same thing against Bernard Hopkins, a great player.
VCU, meantime, is both tournament tested and tournament rested. The Rams received a little bit of a scare from East Carolina yesterday, but not enough that their starters had to play a lot of minutes. So they both got a great starting 5 and an outstanding bench.
Bob, it's been a big advantage for Sonny Smith. That said, yes, he has good starters, but he can go to the bench anytime he wants to. But the one guy they do want to get the ball in the hands to is Bernard Hopkins. This guy was CAA Player of the Year. He's had a terrific tournament. He's really rugged on the boards. He can do so many things, so he's going to be a very difficult matchup. But the bench has been the difference between UNC Wilmington, who's maybe not as deep, but the showtime of Marlo Talley has been magnificent. He leads the emotional lead with this high-energy 5 that comes in off the bench.
All right, a trip to the NCAA tournament. The Big Dance is at stake. Number 1 VCU and number 3 UNC Wilmington. The starting lineups when we come back. Here we go with our starting lineups. Let's start for Wilmington, 13-15, wins over William and Mary and Old Dominion. Mark Byington starts at forward along with Darren Moore, Preston McGriff in the middle, Billy Donlan and Lamont Franklin the guards. A key will be the point guard, Lamont Franklin and tempo.
Definitely, Lamont Franklin just averages 4 points a game, but man, he has had a great tournament, playing terrific.
VCU 23-8, the Rams beating Richmond and East Carolina. Ivan Chappell, Bernard Hopkins, the forwards. George Bird is at center. Lee and Hamilton are the guards.
Yeah, Lee and Hamilton going to have to do a good job against this press.
The officials for our championship game, Larry Rose, Sam Croft, and Carl Hess. VCU has never lost to UNC Wilmington 5-0 in their all-time meetings, including 2 big wins earlier this season. Jerry Wainwright is the head coach of UNCW in his 2nd season, 29-26. And the CAA Coach of the Year is Sonny Smith in his 7th year at VCU with 112 wins, and now the 56th active head coach with 300-plus victories in his career. Both teams have taken to the court. We are ready for the 11th Colonial Athletic Association championship game. Darren Moore has had a huge tournament for UNCW. 12 points against William & Mary, 15 against Old Dominion. He'll be matched up against Bernard Hopkins, the CAA Player of the Year, who's had 31 points in the first 2 games. Sit back, relax, enjoy the CAA championship game of berth. To the field of 64 is on the line. It'll be VCU with an opportunity to fire up the first shot, and Wilmington opens in a 2-3 zone.
Yes, and this is what they've been able to do. Mix up their defenses, 2-3 man. Jerry Wainwright likes this zone to start the game.
Of course, it slows the tempo immediately as the Rams probe that zone. Hamilton had the pass knocked away, but got it back, and Chappell's 3 is off the mark, and McGriff has the game's first rebound.
They also are a good rebounding team, UNC Wilmington, in the tournament. Moore and McGriff.
Moore, triple teamed, missed the shot. And here come the Rams. They want to run at every opportunity. Makes, misses, and turnovers. A 3-footer for Patrick Lee.
Good push-up by Hopkins. He's a big guy who can take it coast to coast. He's got a lot of athleticism, and that is exactly right, Bob. They want to run and try to beat this pressure defense down the floor.
Billy Donlin, middle of the floor. Into the lane, rises for the jumper, can't get the roll, and the Rams run. Hopkins, the big guy. Dribbling, weaving, driving, charging.
Yep, that time a little out of control. Couldn't get the handle. They do want to run, but they got to run with their heads up and be very careful not to get the charge. Donlin here has got a soft shot, just wasn't able to get it down. But this is vintage Bernard Hopkins. Look at him dribble, but this time just takes it too deep and get the charge. You got to be aware of that. UNC Wilmington is taught and trained since November. Take the charge.
McGriff touches it for the first time, and now Lamont Franklin, who's had a huge 2 games in this tournament, particularly scoring points, something he did not do regularly during the regular season. McGriff immediately double teamed. Byington goes inside to McGriff with a little floater, and the Seahawks' first 2 of the game.
Well, they got a big advantage if they can get that ball down on the box to McGriff. He's 6'11", 250 pounds. He just turns and shoots, and he's a high percentage shooter. That's UNC Wilmington trying to get the ball to the big guys.
He seems to rise to the challenge of VCU. McGriff 33 points in the 2 regular season meetings with VCU. Hamilton's 3 is off, and Byington with the rebound. Franklin, he's going to take a quick jumper, and it's almost an air ball.
Yeah, that's very much out of character of what UNC Wilmington is instructed to do.
Inside to Bird. George Bird already having a better game against Wilmington than he did in the meeting here at the Coliseum when he scored just 1 point and did not attempt a field goal.
It's tournament time, and Bird's going to have to do much better than that.
McGriff stepped out of bounds. He stepped on the baseline.
All of a sudden, UNC Wilmington are starting to force their offense, and this is not the flow that they had when they started the game against Old Dominion, and just shocked Old Dominion with that patient offense and great defense.
Now, we should not overlook VCU's defense. In 2 tournament games, the Rams have forced 50 turnovers. They've had 18 steals, and they've held opponents to 43% shooting from the floor. Tough shot for Lee, and it looked like it, but it was last touched by Billy Donlin. First up of the game, UNC Wilmington Stan Simmons. The 5'10" freshman checks in, and Lamont Franklin will get an early breather.
Now this is an all-freshman backcourt for UNC Wilmington. Although they're well years in form and maturity, Donlin and Simmons are really good players.
Hamilton misses the 3. Simmons goes above everybody to get the rebound. Hamilton has struggled to score points in this tournament, just 12 in the 2 games. Donlin. And the Rams have figured out how to stop him. Billy Donlin had just 3 points in the 2 regular season meetings. McGriff inside. Stan Simmons outside.
Boy, coming right off the bench, firing a three. This kid's got a lot of confidence. He can flat out play.
He may not have even been on VCU's scouting report. He didn't play in one of the 2 regular season games and didn't score in the other one. We're tied at 5. Patrick Lee ran over Darren Moore. No call. Lee gets the bucket.
Well, if they let him play, that's going to be a big advantage for VCU. There was some contact there and almost a whistle.
Patrick Lee looking for his shot early. He's got 5 of VCU's 7. McGriff. Simmons tries a contested 3 over Lee.
I'll tell you, if UNC Wilmington can get that inside out going, they're going to be really tough to beat. Now, if they can hit the threes and then they get more McGriff down low, VCU is not going to have the answer.
What a determined look on Stan Simmons' face that you saw as he backpedaled to play defense. 8-7 Seahawks with their first lead.
VCU just standing around, passing on the perimeter. It needs some cuts to the basket.
Bird gets the Chapel miss. Lost the ball, and Simmons comes up with it. Smartly holds it up and leaves it for freshman Billy Donlin. Donlin with a nice drive to the bucket, misses the finger roll layup. And Hamilton can't handle the pass, and the veteran Rams showing some jitters in the first 4 minutes. 8-7 Seahawks with the early lead.
Well, what they do is they play tremendous defense. They try to keep the ball out of the post area. The second thing they do, they will run the clock down almost to the 35-second limit every time that they possibly can and get the best shot out. They make you play defense for 35 seconds, and they try to prevent you from getting any type of good shot. So you end up playing more defense than they do.
And so far, that game plan of Jerry Wainwright has worked to perfection. 5 of VCU's 8 shots have been 3-point attempts. Bernard Hopkins in the post has been denied the ball. Kevin, no shots in the first 5.5 minutes for the player of the year.
Yeah, I think VCU's been a little bit impatient, not working that ball in against that zone and settling for the 3-point shot that plays right in the hands of the UNC Wilmington Seahawks.
The second 5 is on the floor for VCU. This is the group that jump-started them yesterday and dug them out of a 15-5 hole. And our second whistle of the ball game for a foul. This one will go on VCU. Well, we talked so much about Wilmington's defense. We also talked so much about the Pine production of VCU. Look at the numbers for the Rams' second 5. 34 points per game in the 2 tournament victories for VCU's bench. Byington misses a clean look at a 3. And Marlo Talley, the leader of this second 5, with the rebound.
You know, 41% of all the points scored in this tournament by VCU has come from the bench.
That's why we said at the outset that VCU is not only tournament tested, but tournament rested.
Exactly. They're so deep. Sonny Smith is able to go to guys like Peabody here, taking the ball to the hole. He's a great leaper with the long arms. That's a dimension that I don't think UNC Wilmington can stop. And Peabody is in that attack mode to take the ball to the paint every opportunity.
The Seahawks shuttle players in and out as well, as you see Moore coming back in. And McGriff going out. No Ram has yet played 30 minutes in a game in this tournament. That's how deep Sonny Smith's bench is. Scott Marston to Reed and back to Marston. The jumper is too long. It's an air ball, and Darren Moore has it. VCU 3 for 9.
Really, they're being settled down into taking some tough shots. And UNC Wilmington's clearing the defensive boards. That's a big part of this game is rebounding.
That will be a huge key. Simmons off the back rim. John Smith grabs the rebound. Peabody has been huge in the 2 games. Now the Rams out-rebounded the Seahawks 77-53 in the 2 regular season meetings. It can't be that kind of average tonight for UNCW to have a chance. Man-to-man this time by the Seahawks. Peabody off balance, gets fouled.
Peabody is so quick and so long. Watch him. He's got 6 inches on Simmons right here. 6'4", just 5'11", and he gets the leaner in there and gets the call. Watch the help defense come. Got him on the arm. That help's got to come a little quicker.
Back comes Billy Donlin for UNC Wilmington. Jerry Wainwright has a deep bench. He doesn't handle it in the same fashion that Sonny Smith does. He shuttles them in and out, 1 and 2 at a time.
Although Jerry Wainwright, he does play these guards a lot of minutes, and they've played a lot of minutes in this tournament. Donlin's averaging almost 37 minutes a game. They don't want that point guard off too long.
John Smith with the offensive rebound as Peabody misses 2 free throws.
I'll tell you, John Smith is a load. Now, Moore has got to check him off. He's a big fella, too. But that's a very difficult task for Moore to check him off. He got pushed right underneath the basket. Not too many guys in CAA can do that to Darren Moore.
Sonny Smith hoping this second 5 will give his Rams the same lift they did yesterday. Boy, VCU struggling at the free throw line, 0 for 3.
And from the field, too, so they have not got their guns loaded here in this game early.
Maybe, just maybe, they're feeling the tournament pressure for the first time. Smith misses 2, and it's out of bounds off Darren Moore. Excellent contesting of the missed shot by Marlo Talley forced Moore to knock it out of bounds.
Well, it's little things that win you ball games, and Talley hustling underneath like Smith did twice. UNC Wilmington wasn't able to clear under the free throw lane.
So a fresh 35 for the Rams. Another missed shot, and this time Byington comes up with it. Headmans it to Franklin. Byington with a quick release. This is kind of interesting. The Seahawks are taking the first shot tonight. Don't know if that's game plan or not.
I'll tell you, they worked it all the way down the shot clock in against Old Dominion.
John Smith misses. Mayhew did a great job of clearing out underneath, and the ball rolled easily to Mark Byington. And I think this time you'll see the Seahawks get that shot clock into single digits. Wilmington by 1. There hasn't been any scoring in the last couple of minutes. That favors Wilmington. Byington unloads another 3.
Byington's a terrific three-point shooter. That's the 3rd in the game for UNC Wilmington. A big factor in their success here early.
Talley tries to answer with a 3.
There's a competitor. When you come back and you stroke a 3 right in the face after being dealt one, that says a lot about Talley.
He is 2 for 8 all season now on 3-pointers.
Pretty incredible. Tournament time brings out the best in some.
Nice fake by Bill Mayhew, but he throws up a shot that grazes the rim.
What
but
hustle.
Look at Mayhew hustle after the miss.
You got to love this kid. I mean, that's what he does and brings to every game is hustle.
Kevin, the shot clock did not reset, although I thought that ball grazed off of the rim.
I agree with you.
Mayhew loses it underneath anyway, and Smith comes up with it.
You got to be careful when you put the ball on the floor against VCU. Their hands are so quick. They get a lot of steals. And they've created, as you said earlier, a lot of turnovers. This is where UNC Wilmington has got to be careful with that ball.
Peabody.
He's going to try to take every opportunity.
Talley tries another 3. And nothing but blue shirts there for the rebound. Well, a lot of 3-pointers being jacked up by both teams. VCU is 2 of 8. Billy Donlin guarded by Ben Peabody. Byington to Franklin, an open look at a jumper.
That did not come off his hand good. He's had a good offensive tournament, but he's missed his first 2 touches. So he's going to have to go back to his normal game. Defense, player control, and not look for his shot. In fact, I think Jerry Wainwright's going to take him out of the game.
Marcus Reed, the point guard of this second 5. The first 5 is up off of Sonny Smith's bench and heading to the scorer's table.
UNC Wilmington's been in a man against this second unit of UNC Wilmington, of VCU.
Peabody off the back rim. Loose ball tracked down by Lamont Franklin for Wilmington. Seahawks are a step faster right now.
Exactly. I mean, that is a good sign if you're a Seahawk fan. They're winning all the loose balls, getting all the long rebounds. So they are playing a little bit harder.
Darren Moore's three is short. Somebody changed the rules that you can't shoot from inside that three-point arc. There's one from right inside for John Smith.
Yeah, Darren Moore was caught trailing from the minute he missed that three and running down the court. Smith had the good position, and he was behind him the whole way.
VCU seesaws ahead 12-11. Darren Moore has his shot rejected from behind by Ben Peabody. Peabody at the other end of the floor. Triple team. Finds Smith, who missed it. Byington saves it for Franklin.
I think Darren Moore is tired. He called that 22nd himself.
That's a great timeout because not only were they winded, but the shot clock is already at 29, and Franklin was still on the baseline. He only had 4 seconds to get the ball to midcourt. It is 12-11 VCU, and Kevin, we have seen a flurry of three-pointers.
Well, you know, you don't mind this gentleman shooting the threes. Byington's a terrific three-point shooter, and so is Simmons, but I think a lot of the threes are out of nerves. I think these guys, there's so much at stake here, Bob. This is what they've been playing for since they were kids, to get here and this opportunity to play in the NCAA. And I think that they are a little bit nervous and they're settling for these threes.
But I think both coaches would rather see high percentage shots like this one.
Definitely, Bob. And, you know, you want to make an effort first to get the ball down low. And Smith finishing, he's a big force coming off that bench for Sonny Smith. Now Sonny Smith's got his starters back in.
And VCU makes several changes. Preston McGriff, Stan Simmons back in the ball game, and Kenny Avent in for the first time. You saw the field goal numbers, neither team lighting it up. We didn't expect them to. Mayhew's jumper is an air ball.
He's got 2 air balls, 2 shots. I don't think you want him shooting there either.
Lee faked the three-pointer. Chappell rises and hits.
Chappell using his quickness. You know, he can go to the baseline as well as anybody in the CAA. He's got that left hand. He's got a good jump. Of course, I'm partial to left-handers, Bob.
Yes, you are. This is a 7-0 VCU run. And they're tightening it up a notch on D.
Well, they are. Hamilton's really getting up on down.
Simmons guarded by Lee.
Oh, tough pass.
McGriff lost it. It's 4-on-2. Chappell foul.
VCU is really putting on their swarming defense. Sonny Smith's got to be happy the way the ball club is protecting their inside people. And then when they get that ball, look how they're trying to break that defense down by running. And even though the great leaping ability of Simmons, he's just no match here for Chappell. He uses his body well to protect, he initiates the contact, and that's knowing your competition. Simmons a great shot blocker. In fact, he had 9 block shots in one game in high school, and he's 5'11". It's incredible.
Ivan Chappell, a 69% free throw shooter, nestles home the first. Lamont Franklin back to run the point position for Wilmington. Simmons has picked up a couple of quick personals to go along with a couple of quick three-pointers. Chappell makes them both, and we've got a timeout. 7:35 to go. It's a 9-0 run, and VCU has a 5-point lead.
The thing that worries you most in athletics is speed, and Coach Smith really does a great job. He has a real good foot on the accelerator, and I think that Sherman Hamilton is his driver. He does a great job of running when they have it and slowing and getting the ball to the big guys when they don't. A very difficult team to play. And we just can't get in an up and down game with them. If so, this game will be over very quickly.
Already, VCU has more fast breaks in this game than Old Dominion had in the entire game yesterday in the semifinal matchup. So this has got to concern Jerry Wainwright. I'm sure he's addressing that here at the timeout. They're running a lot better than Old Dominion did yesterday.
Well, in the last meeting between these teams in the regular season, VCU shot 61% from the floor, and assistant coach Mike Ellis, when asked how could you do that, said we ran and we got a lot of easy buckets. We didn't shoot 61% against their half-court defense, that's for sure.
Exactly. You just can't do that. I mean, that defense is too tough by UNC Wilmington. So you beat it down, and that's what they're doing.
Offensive foul on UNCW. Preston McGriff will get that offensive foul. We have a timeout, 7:21 to go. It's 16-11 VCU. Where the VCU Rams in their own backyard have a 5-point lead on UNC Wilmington. Ben Peabody, one of the cast of the reserves for VCU that's helped the Rams really dominate the backboards both tonight so far and also during the regular season.
Yeah, that's a big part of their game. They all attack the boards. And everywhere Sonny Smith has gone, they've always had good rebounding teams. Coach at Auburn in person and Barkley. There's a good block.
But Hopkins is there for his first bucket of the game. Bernard Hopkins with the follow, and the Rams with their biggest lead. Not only Hopkins' first basket, also his first shot. It comes on the follow, the stick back. Byington, guarded by Chappell. Byington gives up a couple of inches there. Byington fakes the three with the left hand. Can't get the runner to go, but he does get the whistle.
You don't expect Byington to shoot or drive on you. You expect him to shoot the three, and I think that was part of the problem here. Chappell not respecting his drive, doesn't able to get it to go down, and something UNC Wilmington hasn't been able to get much of is good penetration to the basket, and give credit to VCU's backcourt defense. They've stopped all penetration, therefore not opening up many looks inside, and they've been a three-point shooting team here in the first half.
That is the first free throw of the ball game for UNC Wilmington.
You're not going to get too many free throws if you're shooting beyond that white line.
Byington out of Salem, Virginia, southwest quadrant of the state, makes two. And it's a 5-point VCU lead. Man-to-man by Wilmington. Hopkins back out to Lee. The three is too strong, and Darren Moore with a strong rebound.
Okay, great check out by UNC Wilmington. Mayu, Moore, Olam did a great job that time.
Now Bill Mayhew with the basketball. Byington. And Donlin. Still 15 seconds on the shot clock, plenty of time. Moore, good fake of the three, and a hold on George Bird as Moore had gotten a step past him. That's number 2 on Bird.
Well, I'm sure Sonny Smith has told Bird, you got to get out there and guard more because he can shoot the three. He's got 17 threes already this year. He shows it. See, Bird, just a little ball fake was enough to get Bird out of position, and a good move by Moore.
Well, John Smith will get an opportunity as Bird, saddled with 2 fouls, goes to Coach Smith's bench. Donlin trying to make a move on Sherman Hamilton, which he did, lost the ball. Darren Moore comes up with it and lays it in.
Well, it was good penetration by Donlin, quick reaction by Moore to beat the big guys to the hole.
Moore's first bucket of the game, and the Seahawks trying to make a run. Back-to-back, they've scored 4 points. Lee to Hopkins. Under the bucket, double teamed, and shovels it out of bounds.
And look at all his teammates standing on one side of the court. Somebody's got to go help. That's not Hopkins' fault. That's his teammates for not going to the basket.
Hopkins hasn't been under this kind of intense pressure much all year. He's pretty much had his way, but this time the roadblock.
Now there's nobody on that side of the court at all. Somebody's got to get some balance.
Donlin. Back to Byington, and now Stan Simmons. Down low to Darren Moore. The turnaround.
Oh, man. I think Moore's going to work. He, after his interview, I talked to him and he said, we're going to win. And it takes a lot of confidence. I don't know where he gets that from because they lost handily in the 2 previous meetings against VCU, but it's very difficult to beat a team 3 times in one season.
Hamilton, will the field goal count?
I believe it should.
I think the ball was in the air.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a 3-pointer for Sherman Hamilton. Count the basket. And a foul underneath on VCU.
Well, VCU fighting for inside position. Fortunately, it occurred after the ball left Hamilton's hands, so that basket will count. But it'll be UNC Wilmington's ball.
So it's 21-17 VCU. Hopkins called for the personal foul. It's his second. So both Bird and Hopkins with 2 fouls for the Rams.
And Hopkins fouled out last night against Old Dominion, so he's having some foul problems.
Donlin
look at
short, but Moore tips it in.
Well, he's the emotional leader. 6 quick points by Moore, and he has brought the Seahawks right back. They're down 2.
Scott Marston, the freshman from Cincinnati. John Smith faked it once, took it the second time and missed it. Wilmington now could tie or take the lead. .340 to go. First half, it's a 2-point VCU lead. Another VCU foul. This one going on John Smith. It's his second.
Big guys are getting called for a lot of fouls. VCU likes it rough. They're calling it close.
It's heating up. Timeout at the Richmond Coliseum. Well, we talked a lot about the VCU bench. It's going to be tested the rest of this first half because those 2 starters, George Bird and Bernard Hopkins, and that reserve, John Smith, already each with 2 fouls apiece.
Well, that's bad news for VCU fans. I don't care if they do have a deep bench or not. Those 3 got to play aggressively, and that'll take some of the fire out of those guys.
That's a travel on Darren Moore as he went to pick up the basketball. An unforced error, and Jerry Wainwright can't live with those.
UNC Wilmington had so few turnovers in their game last night. They got to be careful not to turn over against VCU.
John Smith is playing with the 2 fouls, and he just had the ball slip through his hands. Wilmington again could tie or take the lead. Kenny Avent back into the ball game. Lamont Franklin. Simmons has 2 3-pointers. Now he has 3.
With Peabody running at him, and Peabody's a terrific shot blocker. 3 huge threes for the Seahawks here by him.
An 11-3 UNCW run has vaulted them ahead. Reed can answer, but doesn't. And Simmons skies above everybody and will shoot 1 and 1 at the other end.
Well, this is the athleticism that Jerry Wainwright is going out to recruit, and he's got one here. This is quite a horse. Watch this kid go up 5'11", and then take a ball back down the floor to run and gets tripped and fouled. Offensively, what a spark he has provided off the bench. 3 threes, and he's feeling it. Sort of a gut feeling also that Jerry Wainwright had as he brought him in the game after 2 or 3 minutes in the first half to try to break that platoon system that VCU has. He tried to beat him at the punch, and I think he has.
Stan Simmons' career high is 13. He's got 11 here in the first half. He had 13 in the big win over East Carolina at Trask Coliseum back on February 24th. He'll get a breather and a pat on the back from head coach Jerry Wainwright.
That's been his wild card in this game, and Jerry Wainwright is playing the right cards in this match with Sonny Smith.
Wilmington with a 3-point lead and man-to-man defense against VCU's second unit. Boy, they've taken Peabody out of the game. He has not scored. Peabody has the ball. Franklin guarding him. Shot clock at 5. Reed's going to have to, no, he's going to pass it to John Smith, and Smith runs out of time. That Oh, that shouldn't have counted.
No way.
Oh, that shouldn't have counted. The ball was still in his hand.
Unbelievable. They missed that one. That ball was in his hands a good tick of a second.
Everybody stopped except the officials. Nobody called it. Smith gets the bucket, and it's a 1-point Wilmington lead. 1:45 to go. Billy Donlin to Lamont Franklin. To Bill Mayhew. Moves the layup.
He didn't know whether to dunk it or lay it in.
I think he wanted to dunk it, and he realized he wasn't high enough up to dunk it. And Talley traveled. Talley traveled.
No, they blew it off.
Yeah, he traveled.
Yep. Well, UNC Wilmington cannot lose their composure as they felt they got robbed with a deuce by Smith. The ball was still in his hands, no question about it, when the shot clock went off. Then they came back down and missed a dunk. Here it is. Oh, you can just see at the last minute, instead of throwing it down, he just let the ball out of his hands, hit the back of the rim. Crucial part of this game, 1:13 left. UNC Wilmington's got to get back their tempo.
VCU's committed 6 turnovers here in the first half. They've been virtually error-free in the first 2 games of the tournament. Donlin has the three-pointer spin out, but look at Mayhew get the rebound. That's what he does best.
Yeah, you know, he's missed 2 jumpers with air balls, missed a dunk, but the kid just keeps battling, keep hustling.
Byington fakes the 3. Franklin.
Tough shot by Franklin. That in-between shot is so difficult to make, but he does it with ease.
The Wilmington crowd roaring. It's a 3-point Seahawk lead, and here's how they got it.
Great ball movement. Look at the up fake, unselfish play, another up fake. VCU bit on those up looks, and he just took it to the hole on him.
Here it is from ground level.
Yeah, it's good patience by UNC Wilmington. Look at that, in traffic, sticks it down. I'll tell you, UNC Wilmington needed that hoop desperately.
Lamont Franklin is certainly a key in this game. That's his first field goal. Sonny Smith used his 22nd timeout, and now VCU can go for the final shot of the first half. No matter what happens here, the Seahawks are going to feel good going into the locker room.
You don't want to give up a 3 and have this game tied.
Lee traveled as he didn't see Preston McGriff step out.
You know, how many 7-footers will step out on a play like that? They were defending a 3-point shot. Preston McGriff coming way out on the floor to make a great play. Lee just did not expect it.
The 7th turnover here in the first half by VCU. The Rams had only 22 turnovers in the first 2 games.
Well, here's a good substitution. You bring McGriff off the floor, you put in your best 3-point shooters.
Here comes Franklin, last shot time for the Seahawks. Byington at the buzzer. And that's the end of the first half. Sonny Smith and the top-seeded VCU Rams find themselves trailing this late in a game for the first time in the tournament. And Jerry Wainwright with a sheepish grin on his face, his eye on the scoreboard. He is 20 minutes away from an upset and UNC Wilmington's first ever NCAA appearance. Halftime, the Seahawks of UNCW with a 3-point lead on VCU.
I'll tell you, it's a real surprise, Wilmington with this lead.
Along with Kevin Greavy, Bob Black back with you courtside. An interesting and entertaining first half. Kevin Greavy, VCU limited to just 23 points. Is this a case of the Rams feeling the heat, either the heat of the NCAA bid on the line or Wilmington's defensive heat?
Probably a combination of both. I think that this is a very familiar scenario with UNC Wilmington being able to shut down Old Dominion yesterday. They're doing the same thing right here. They're playing terrific basketball. Defense on the post has been a key. As Bernard Hopkins, the CAA Player of the Year, has just taken one shot. So Sonny Smith is going to have to find a way to get him the ball, and also VCU's got to run the ball down the court. I look for a little more frenetic pace from VCU to try to disrupt some of the things that UNC Wilmington has been able to.
Well, they do a great job with that post defense. Yesterday, Bunn and Hodge, two of the top interior players in the league, combined for just 10 shots. Hopkins just 1 in the first half. They're the 3 best inside players in the league.
Well, you just don't want to play UNC Wilmington at their pace and play a half-court game. They really pack it in, and there's just no room to either get the ball to him, and once Hopkins has caught it, they're just swarming him, and he's got to kick it back out.
Well, as we said at the outset, yes, Wilmington has to play great defense, but sooner or later, they've got to score points, and it's been an unlikely source tonight for UNC Wilmington. Stan Simmons has come off of the bench, the little 5'10" freshman, and has nailed some huge shots.
Well, he really has. There's a guy that averages 3.5 points a game, and he's got 11 here at halftime. He's come off the bench and hit those threes, and they were just huge for UNC Wilmington.
Here is one of Stan Simmons' three-pointer, contested over Patrick Lee.
You know, and he's done it with a guy in his face. Peabody went at him, and that shot there, Lee. So they were tough shots by Simmons.
Inside, you mentioned that Darren Moore was oozing with confidence yesterday. Here's a confident move.
Well, it just carries over as he just taken it upon himself as a senior leadership to get it done, and he's trying to get them into the NCAA tournament.
VCU's leading scorer in the first half is Patrick Lee, but he had to do it from long range.
Well, he really did. There you see Hopkins making the pass to Lee. Look for more of that in the second half. Good penetration opens up those three-point shots.
You mentioned Bernard Hopkins has just one shot. This is it, a stick back.
Yeah, but he's drawing a crowd. He did the right thing, making the pass and then going to the boards. He may have to get it done on the rebounding end. He's the #1 rebounder in the CAA as well.
These are the halftime numbers. The field goal percentage is about where we figured they would be. Wilmington at 35%, VCU at 38%. The stat that is most surprising, Wilmington's bench has outscored VCU's 11-7, or perhaps we should say Stan Simmons has outscored them 11-7.
You're right, and that bench from VCU is just 3 of 11 from the field. That's not good enough by a bench who has just been magnificent all season long.
So the only player in the ballgame in double figures is freshman Stan Simmons with 11 points. Darren Moore has added half a dozen, and Mark Byington 5 for Wilmington. VCU's leading scorer is Patrick Lee with 5, and then Ivan Chappell and John Smith with 4. It's Wilmington's ball to start the second half. We're 20 minutes away from an NCAA berth for one of these teams. Seahawks with a 3-point lead. And the Rams dare Franklin to shoot, which he doesn't. Byington will. It's short. Byington saves it, tried to throw it off of Patrick Lee, who danced out of the way. And now we'll see if VCU can get the ball inside to Hopkins and Bird, who are both playing with 2 fouls. Remember that also. Hamilton goes inside to Hopkins, forced it up, no good, and Bird knocked it out of bounds. Great post defense by McGriff.
That's exactly right. They force Hopkins out further on the court than he wants to catch it. He wants to catch it down around the box, but that good inside post, making it a good 10-foot shot for Hopkins.
Seahawks get it back. We played a scoreless minute plus of the second half. Moore tries a 3, and Lee with the rebound.
2 early shots by UNC Wilmington, 2 quick rebounds by VCU. There's Hopkins, got to get him the ball.
Double teamed, almost had his pass stolen as he bounced it back to the top of the key.
Whoever man is double teaming on Hopkins should cut to the basket, not just stand there. As Chappell could have had a layup, they're just standing around on the perimeter.
Almost thrown out of bounds by Bird. The shot clock at 5. Hamilton lets it go at the shot clock buzzer. No good. And Franklin has it for UNCW. Seahawks run.
There's Preston, got to get him the ball.
Oh, they're going to call an offensive foul on Preston McGriff. That's how he got so free.
Well, you should have got the ball to him quicker. Preston McGriff had good position, a good 2 or 3 counts. And when you wait that long, then you're going to get frustrated and make a foul. Not all that was Preston McGriff's fault.
We have played 2+ minutes, no points in the second half for either team. Don't tell this crowd that defense can't be exciting.
Well, they are great defense this whole CAA tournament.
There goes Bird to the basket. He misses. He fights for his own rebound and a held ball, which belongs to VCU.
Well, the players aren't leaving it in the locker room. You have to commend the effort by both these ball clubs, both to get here for the championship of the CAA, but also here in this game. These guys are tired playing for all the marbles. Now watch it. They go down on the floor for it. And if you're coach, you just got to love the hustle.
Rams get a fresh 35. McGriff gets a breather. Boy, VCU's front court just 3 for 8. Hamilton back out to Bird. And the Rams will have to battle the half-court defense again. Hamilton has been blanketed. He hasn't gotten on track at all. Just the 1 3-pointer. Byington has Hamilton.
Look at Mayu fronting Bernard Hopkins, trying to keep him from getting catches. Really hustling around the post. That's great post defense.
Hopkins, strong offensive rebound and lays it in. That's what he's got to do.
Well, when you get fronted and the shot goes up, you automatically have inside position. So Mayu doing a great job on post defense, but it's very difficult to check out, and that's where you get some points.
1-point Wilmington lead. First points of the second half will follow by Hopkins. Franklin looking to make a drive, can't do it. That's the shot clock, lower left. Franklin fouled on his drive to the bucket with
foul.
2 on the shot clock. That'll frustrate Sonny Smith and his coaching staff.
Well, his teammates recognized the shot clock was running down. They set a double pick for him to take that ball down the middle. So UNC Wilmington utilizing the shot clock well, but he really got bailed out with a foul there. I don't think he would have gotten a very good shot out of that drive.
Moore goes out for a breather as McGriff comes back in. Franklin lobs it to Byington.
Now VCU's got to play good defense all over again. This takes a little bit out of you.
This is that time of possession factor. McGriff has it spin out. Hopkins with the rebound. The Rams can take the lead. Hopkins with half a dozen rebounds. We're 4 minutes into the second half.
There's Chappell standing out again. Should make cuts to the basket.
Sherman Hamilton left open for the 3. VCU by 2. The Rams crowd into the game. Donlin lost it out of bounds. Jerry Wainwright will get a much-needed break. Timeout. 15:39 to go. VCU with a 2-point lead on Hamilton's 3. Take a look at VCU getting the lead in the ball game thanks to Hopkins' stickback.
Well, they're going to need more of that. Hopkins got both of his baskets here in this game on offensive rebounding. A great rebounder, averaging almost 11 rebounds a game. And look at that. The second half score in VCU. They're going to have to get a surge and just keep it up.
Well, as we said, everybody's been talking about Wilmington's defense, but VCU plays outstanding defense as well. Second only to Wilmington in the conference. Hamilton missed a quick shot at a 3, but Hopkins gets another rebound. Lee drives baseline. He's smothered, but somehow found George Bird.
Well, the big guys are really coming alive. Bird and Hopkins, and they were shut down the first half. Big surge here in the second half.
Billy Donlin's been unable to get on track.
Yeah, he's 0 for 5 from the field, had a couple turnovers.
And Stan Simmons forced to knock the ball out of bounds off of Patrick Lee. Now Ben Peabody back, and Lee will go out.
Sonny Smith putting some fresh perimeter players in so he can keep applying that pressure against UNC Wilmington.
The Seahawks desperately need a hoop here. Franklin directing traffic with the shot clock in single digits. 2, 1. Did he get it off? They'll say he did. Franklin gets the three-pointer at the shot clock buzzer.
Barely. The ball barely left his hand. That was a close one, but I believe it was the right call.
And the lead is 1 for VCU. Now here in the second half, 5 of the Rams' 8 shots have come inside the paint. So obviously that was one of the halftime messages delivered and received in the VCU locker room.
Yeah, it's been a good adjustment by Sonny Smith. Look at that move.
Foul call coming from the outside official, Sam Croft, as Hopkins made a cat-like quick spin move.
Well, he really has some athleticism. Look at the ball handle right there. Good move, just planted Darren Moore, and there's the foul coming over to help Preston McGriff. Oh, now that is an NBA-type move. If he could just develop a nice outside jumper, he could definitely be NBA material.
Hopkins to the line for the first time in the ball game. 62% free throw shooter. What do you think? Did he get it off?
I think he did,
Yeah,
but
I
it
did
was
too.
close. It was so close.
That was the 3 a moment ago by Lamont Franklin at the shot clock buzzer. Hopkins now with half a dozen as he nails a couple of free throws. Marlo Towie back, and George Bird with 2 fouls goes out. And Billy Donlin into the ball game for Wilmington. And Simmons out.
But in the first half, VCU played UNC Wilmington's tempo. Now they're playing the tempo VCU wants to play. They're really applying the pressure. This 2-2-1 full court press designed to try to speed up the game. They got a good trap.
Got it ahead, though, to Darren Moore, who finds Donlin, who's now 0 for 6 from the floor. And a VCU foul on the follow.
Yeah, Donlin had 14 points yesterday, hit his three-point looks. He's not shooting the jumper now, and they need some perimeter offense. They got it from Simmons in the first half, but they cannot find any open jumpers in the second. This is the big story here. Bernard Hopkins, 3 fouls. He just started to get untracked.
Yep, exactly. Byington, Lamont Franklin. Back to Donlin. Moore fakes the entry pass. McGriff has been very quiet. They've done a good job of low post defense on him.
They got to get him the ball.
They do. And it spins out on him. He is 1 for 3.
He's had 2 in this half that were down and out.
Hamilton to Bird. Can't get it to roll home, but he'll go to the line.
Well, VCU now is also getting great penetration by their guards, opening up inside looks to Bird. Look at this penetration. Hamilton taking Donlin. Great pass and a good catch right there to be able to get that ball up on the basket. Here's another look at it. Wow, between 3 people he was able to get that pass. Hamilton showing some really nice ball handling.
And now George Bird, the 6'8" junior, down to about 255 pounds or so, playing at a much lighter weight. Both he and Bernard Hopkins in the offseason trimmed down, and you can certainly see the quickness in Hopkins, as we've seen on a couple of the moves. And I wouldn't say Bird is as light as a feather, but he has trimmed down. 1 of 2 for him at the line. 4-point VCU lead. Moore has an open look at a 3, but that's way off the mark. Hamilton retreats. 12:50 to go, second half, an NCAA berth on the line. Top-seeded VCU in its first fight of the tournament. Hamilton clearing out the far side. For three. And a pushing foul coming, I believe, on Mark Byington as Patrick Lee got good position. And Jerry Wainwright will get Bill Mayhew into the game.
Underneath the basket, Byington got caught out of position. You can see the shove and Lee coming into your picture.
So a fresh 35 for VCU, which has now out-rebounded Wilmington 29-20. And the Seahawks with just that one field goal in the second half. Lee up and in with the finger roll off the glass.
Great take to the basket by Lee. VCU really going to the basket so much better in the second half. It's a different ball club here in the second half than it was played in the first half by VCU.
6-point lead for the Rams. McGriff, nice catch, and his field goal is good. Preston McGriff's first bucket of the second half.
Well, he's missed a couple left-handed hooks that were down and out. That time really powering it up. I think UNC Wilmington's got to stay with that. Keep trying to get the ball to McGriff and more.
Rams much more patient on offense, getting much better shots, as you mentioned, here in the second half. Now everything is inside the three-point arc for the most part.
They're making this run right now with Hopkins on the bench, CAA Player of the Year. That's the kind of depth they have.
Turnover, though, as Hamilton had the ball slip away. Wilmington can get back a little closer. Inside McGriff to the bucket. Got another one.
A good pass by Donlin. They sense that McGriff can get the position, and he's starting to whip these guys inside by VCU.
Sonny Smith wants to get his big bodies back in the game because he sees Wilmington taking advantage of no big guy underneath. So Hopkins and John Smith will be reporting in during the VCU 22nd timeout. Preston McGriff has just taken over.
He has, Bob. He's taken good advantage of his size. There's just nobody inside there that can handle him. It's 6'11", 250 right now. Tallest guy in the court was Talia, took it out of the net. He's 6'7". Here's a good look by Donlin. That's a tough pass to make, but a good catch and a good finish. And that's why Sonny Smith called his 22nd timeout. He's getting these big fellas in.
So Preston McGriff with the last two Seahawk buckets. Here's the last basket for VCU coming right into your living room.
Oh, that's a great look right there, wasn't it? McGriff goes up and it just right over the outstretched arm.
So now Hopkins and Smith are back for VCU. Hopkins playing with 3 fouls. Reed goes inside to Hopkins. Great move to the bucket.
Just out-quicking McGriff there. McGriff big, but he's just not quick enough to stay with Hopkins.
4-point VCU lead. Stan Simmons back for the Seahawks. Simmons tries another three. That one short, and Hopkins making things happen. His 8th rebound. The tug of the jersey by Marcus Reed to call the play.
He's got Hopkins. You got to get him the ball.
Hopkins out top. And an off-the-ball foul on UNCW. Lamont Franklin picks up the personal foul and will pick up an official's timeout. 9:53 to go. VCU by 4 on Wilmington.
The difference for VCU has been Bernard Hopkins. He has 6 points, 5 rebounds here in the second half. He's playing tremendous basketball, and this was certainly a worry for Jerry Wainwright.
This year, he's kind of the prototype 3-4 man that I'd like to have, a guy that can, that was Rodney Rogers at Wake Forest, somebody who can clear the defense and get it ahead to guards who can finish on the break. So I think one of the things you're going to have to do is limit his rebounding and really make him work. I think the other thing we're going to have to do is try to attack him defensively, use our big guys and try and make him guard somebody. He's an underrated defender, he's a very good player, and he by far is the best player in the league at both ends of the floor.
Boy, Jerry Wainwright certainly knows of what he speaks, doesn't he?
Well,
Concern on the boards and on the low block. That's happened in the second half, but they have taken it at him. They've got 3 fouls on him. Well, that shot no good by John Smith.
Well, this is when you make your run. If you're UNC Wilmington, Hopkins is on the bench. You got to go now. It's 9:22 left, Bob.
He won't be on the bench for long.
No.
He's already at the scorer's table.
Yeah, I guess Sonny Smith just took him out for some sort of consultation because he's coming right back in.
4-point lead, VCU. Simmons, Franklin. Simmons will trigger another 3. How about that, young man? Stan Simmons, a career-high 14.
Well, it's a great story. You just love to see kids step up.
Lee misses. Simmons with the rebound, and he's fouled. He's playing big, isn't he, the 5'10 freshman?
Well, I'll tell you, you got to love to see the little guy stepping up, playing the way he is. Watch him get up in the air. Second time we've seen him make a good rebound on the weak side, but no bigger than this 3. His 4th three-pointer in the game from a guy that averages just over 3 points a game. He's got 14 points.
The Seahawks could recapture the lead with 8:40 to go. Franklin. Hamilton gives him some room out there. Simmons. Franklin ducks the pass to Mayhew and now to Donlin. Donlin's 3 is blocked by Patrick Lee. He's got Hopkins, the pass knocked away. Hopkins, great catch on the baseline.
Oh, the big guy can run. Flat get out on a break. Great block by VCU on Donlin, who's still struggling with his shot.
George Bird underneath. Called on the foul, muscling with Darren Moore, and Bird now has 3.
All that is a momentum breaker. You got to sense the time of the game, the sense of the game, and Bird making a bad foul here as his team's just starting to move out again. I don't know where it is or what happened. He bodied Moore somewhere along the way and got the call.
Just 2 big guys banging.
Yeah, that's all that was.
4th team foul on VCU. Simmons faked the pass and then threw up an air ball.
Well,
Jerry Wainwright thought he got fouled, and
definitely.
that's why
Oh, he
the
was
shot
up.
was way off. Hamilton's shot is off the mark. And a pushing foul on the floor on Bill Mayhew.
Well, Mayhew's only job out here is to guard Hopkins, keep him off the board. He's done a great job of that in the first half. The second half is starting to wear down.
He'll get a chance to rest. The foul on Mayhew will bring a stop in play. 7:46 to go. It's VCU 39, UNC Wilmington 36.
Bernard Hopkins has been tremendous here in the second half. He had just 2 points, 3 rebounds. Now he's got a double-double, 10 points, 10 rebounds. Doing it, getting out on the break, running, playing tremendous, and that's trouble for the Seahawks.
He means everything. The guy can handle like a guard. He passes like a forward. He plays the post like a postman. He rebounds exceptionally well. If he can add the 17-footer to his equipment, I think he has a chance to be a player that plays beyond college.
The record that Bernard Hopkins has tied belongs also to Kendrick Warren, one of the all-time greats here at VCU.
I'll tell you what, I got to agree with Sonny Smith. He knows something about guys playing in the pros. Parsons and Barkley. So Kendrick Warren, as you just mentioned, who certainly will get a chance to play in the NBA if he keeps playing. So we may see Bernard Hopkins there.
Hopkins at halftime.
Oh, no! His 4th foul. Tough one. And that was UNC Wilmington. They do that well. They can draw the charge. Hopkins with a smile because he knew there was a little bit of acting on this one. Watch it.
Great job by Stan Simmons.
Yes, it was.
The freshman playing like a senior. And Hopkins shaking his head. At halftime, he was 1 for 1 from the field with 3 rebounds, and now he's got a double-double. So he will be sorely missed. And we'll see when Sonny Smith will pull the trigger to put his star player and the league's player of the year back in the championship game.
Well,
he goes out with 7:25 to go.
Yeah, this game is on the line, and he's going to have to watch for several minutes.
Lamont Franklin has it stripped. Chappell comes up with it. Chappell to the basket. Foul. Defense triggers offense for VCU.
Good hand strip by VCU, and look at Chappell in the open court. And that's what you do. You always try to take that ball to the basket when you got the numbers. You don't want to settle for a jump shot.
And Chappell showing some emotion. Well, Ivan Chappell said in the preseason that he had 3 goals individually. He wanted to shoot 50% from the floor, average double-figure points, and improve his free throw shooting. Well, he's at 52% from the floor. He's averaging 10 points a game, and he's improved his free throw shooting. Not on that one, and look how high Stan Simmons goes up to clear the board, his 4th rebound. A 4-point VCU lead. 6:45 to go. Simmons missed the 3. Mayhew, offensive rebound. What a blue-collar worker he is.
Boy, he really is. He just gets after it. Big rebound because his possession is so important now at this point of the game.
Moore looks to drive on Bird, couldn't do it. Larry Rose detects a foul. This one's going to go on VCU. That one's on Sherman Hamilton. It's his first. Team foul number 6. So it'll be 1-1 from here on for both teams. .6:23 to go. VCU clinging to a 4-point lead. Mayhew. Byington. The Rams play zone. Donlin hasn't made a shot yet tonight. Franklin's 2 is short. Hamilton on the fast break. What's the call going to be? Traveling on Sherman Hamilton.
Well, it was good retreating defense because somebody got a hand on that ball and forced the travel. Watch Donlin. There it is. He got the hand on the ball, and then that forced the extra step. Terrific play.
Yeah, look at the extra step because Donlin stepped in.
Even when he's not scoring, and he's goose-egg from the field, he's played a good floor game.
Wilmington's been in a drought. McGriff has been on the bench for a good long while. Mayhew. Byington has to force up the runner as the shot clock was about to expire, and Patrick Lee runs to offense for VCU.
UNC Wilmington just passing up open jumpers now. Nothing going for him. Preston McGriff on the bench. He was really the only offensive look in the second half. He's coming back in the game.
Hamilton finds a wide open Patrick Lee. Can't get it to go. And a held ball belongs to UNC Wilmington. And here comes Preston McGriff. I tell you, Kevin, I think we could hear the Seahawks screaming timeout, timeout, timeout while they wrestled for the ball on the floor, but the officials wouldn't give it to them.
Well, if you have possession, you can get it. But the problem was everybody had their hands on it.
Let's take a listen. Lamont Franklin wanted a timeout. You could hear it, but I think Sam Croft decided he did not have full possession. Byington inside to McGriff. Triple team. Knocked out of bounds by VCU. Sherman Hamilton swatted it over the sideline. It is the pressure of an NCAA berth on the line.
Oh! I thought that was over and back.
Well, he certainly started in the front court when he jumped. Wound up in the back court when he touched the ball. Seahawks need a field goal. They've hit a drought. They're down 4. McGriff fakes, got his man in the air. And
Just
good foul.
Big play for UNC Wilmington.
This is a big-time basket by the biggest man in Seahawk history.
I'll tell you, he's having a great ball game here in a championship game. Good position. Now watch him go into his act. Good up fake, gets Bird in the air, fouled, and look at the emotion. Yeah.
Now George Bird has 4 personal fouls. McGriff's free throw is too strong. It's a 2-point UNC Wilmington deficit. The Seahawks had gone 4 minutes and 54 seconds without a point, and yet they're still in the game, down just 2.
But a great defense always keeps him in ball games. McGriff now getting hot. VCU's got foul problems.
Hamilton has struggled with his long-range shot. Hamilton's going to have to shoot from the deep reaches of the corner. Offensive! What a play! This is what Bernard Hopkins does best.
Oh, what a rebound. In traffic and quickly puts it up. McGriff, look at the inside position. And the quick hand, he's got great hands to be able to make that clean catch as that ball came shooting off of the rim. He's been tremendous in the second half.
Free throw rattles out, however, and McGriff with the rebound. Hopkins in the second half alone, 10 points and 9 rebounds. This is the CAA tournament. Blocked by Patrick Lee. And a travel on VCU.
Well, he came down hard on his back. Lee really rattled his body on this play. Great block. Watch him come down. Oh.
The Ram fans don't like the call. VCU by 4 with 3:12 to go. Along with Kevin Greavy and our entire hard-working HTS crew, Bob Black with you courtside at the Richmond Coliseum. We hope you're enjoying this one as much as we're enjoying bringing it to you. Who said 42-38 with 3:12 to go can't be exciting?
Oh, this has been great. It really has been a terrific tournament. Credit to Tom Yeager and his staff here in the CAA. I've loved every minute of it.
Byington got it into Darren Moore, who missed the layup.
Oh, no.
Griff missed the follow.
2 opportunities.
3 minutes to go. Hamilton with 20 on the shot clock. Looking inside. Hopkins missed it. Look at Peabody. Battle for the loose ball. It belongs to VCU.
Well, you think these kids don't know it's all on the line? 2:43 left, and they're playing so hard. This one almost went down. If he'd have made that, I mean, this was a leaning turnaround. Look at Peabody come flying through the air to keep that possession arrow their way. Look at it. He comes all the way on the baseline. What a spectacular play right there.
McGriff comes out with 2:43 to go. It's a fresh 35 for VCU. And a foul as Bird had the pass slip off his hands, but he got pushed by Darren Moore. Now Bird will shoot 1-1. It is the 9th team foul on UNC Wilmington, so from here on it's the double bonus. Moore with the rebound. And an opportunity for the Seahawks to creep closer. VCU just 6 of 14 from the free throw line. So the Rams have shot themselves in the foot by being unable to shoot the free throws. Jerry Wainwright uses the first of his 3 timeouts with 2:35 to go at a 4-point deficit.
This is when the strategy, you work for the opportunity to come down and win a ball game. Every play so important. I got to look back at that last possession where they got Moore the ball. He missed the layup. Then McGriff with a finished dunk. He missed it. Those are 2 points that they could have vitally used at this point in the game.
How about these Wilmington Seahawks, the number 3 seed, beating William & Mary, and the big shocker yesterday over second-seeded Old Dominion. It was almost as if there was a letdown, aside from the Wilmington fans in this building, that it wasn't going to be VCU and Old Dominion. But I think Wilmington has more than represented itself in a CAA championship game. And you know what? Every CAA title game since 1987 has been decided by 6 or fewer points.
Well, that's something. That's the parity that you have in the conference. And they have always been treated to great games. And here's a 13-15 team, UNC Wilmington, taking on powerful VCU, 23-8, who only lost 2 games during the regular season CAA play, both of those by 1 point. And we have us a terrific ball game. And you just got to throw out all the records, all the stats. You start it off all anew, and that's the beauty of these conference tournaments.
We'll give you a game reset with 2:30 to go. Wilmington with 2 timeouts plus a 20. VCU 3 timeouts, no 20. Possession arrow belongs to Wilmington. But the lead belongs to VCU by 4. Franklin trying to get free. They'll get Chappell fouling Preston McGriff, and now the big guy's got to step up and nail the 1-and-1 for Wilmington.
Might almost be a bad break for UNC Wilmington. He's such a bad free throw shooter, but he did a good job setting a pick.
Preston McGriff, a 58% free throw shooter. He is 0 for 1 tonight. Veteran players make big-time shots.
That is a huge free throw.
One more for the 6'11 senior from Supply, North Carolina. It is a 2-point game with 2:13 to go. How will VCU respond? The Rams haven't been tested like this in this tournament, and not much since the early portion of the season.
Tremendous amount of pressure on these players right here. How can they play through the pressure, stay calm, and make the right plays?
Let's find out. 2 minutes to go. VCU by 2. Bernard Hopkins, and now Hamilton working the clock. Shot clock, lower left-hand corner. Hamilton off balance. The Seahawks could tie or take the lead with 1:35 to play.
Not a good shot by VCU. Good defense by UNC Wilmington. Should have got the ball to Hopkins.
Stan Simmons guarded by Ben Peabody. Franklin. Again, the shot clock dwindling down. Franklin has it stripped. Moore comes up with it. Turnaround. Whose ball is it? VCU's.
Moore shot that ball way too hard. He had plenty of time on the shot clock to take a better shot. I don't think he recognized how much time is on the clock.
Jerry Wainwright eyeing that clock. And now, timeout, VCU. So the Rams use the first of their 3 timeouts. Sonny Smith will talk about getting a better shot than that last one by Hamilton.
Oh, there's no question about it. He needs to get the ball into Hopkins' hands. And on the other end, UNC Wilmington didn't have Preston McGriff in the game, so he was the guy in the second half that they wanted to go to. A little confusion here and a forced shot. Watch the quick hands. Knock that ball away. Now watch the forced shot. He had a little guy on him. He could have taken a better shot. And Mayhew, as usual, going after the boards. That ball went off his hand.
1:06 to go for an NCAA berth for one of these 2 teams. VCU has not been to the big dance since 1985, their last regular season championship when they were in the Sun Belt Conference. UNC Wilmington has never won the CAA championship. They've come close twice in 2 previous championship games, losing a memorable affair to Navy back in 1987. That was David Robinson against Brian Rousum, and then losing the only overtime game in the championship series in 1989 to George Mason.
I worked both those games and I remember them well. And we got another memorable game here.
In the last 6 minutes, UNC Wilmington has scored 4 points. VCU has scored 2 points. And it has been exciting. It's been hold your breath, bite your fingernails, sit on the edge of your seat. And now, stand up. Here we go. The last minute of regulation. Patrick Lee. Man-to-man by Wilmington. Hamilton with 15 on the shot clock. Ivan Chappell rises. Got his own rebound and is fouled. VCU has been dominant on the boards. There's the biggest of the season.
Following his own shot, Chappell, knowing the shot clock's running down. The one player that can get a shot off and then comes right back. And there's the foul by Lamont. Beautiful rebound here. I'll tell you, he needed that one. He was trying to get it out to clear.
And now senior Preston McGriff comes back in for the last 37.8 seconds. Chappell will shoot 2. VCU has tripped at the free throw line tonight. What did we say one of Chappell's preseason goals was? Improved free throw shooting. He's 4 of 5. He's 5 of 6. It's a 4-point lead. Timeout, Wilmington. Now it's VCU 34.7 seconds away from its CAA championship and NCAA berth. What a thriller in a defensive struggle.
Oh, it really has been. And there's no way you can simulate the pressure that Chappell had on him to make those free throws. And it came up big stroked him very nicely to give him a 4-point lead. That's 2 possessions now. Even a 3, you still have a lead. 34 seconds left. Seahawks trying to both map out a play right now to get a quick hitter, then to set up their defense, try to choose who to foul if they can, and try to get another last possession and have that ball either to win it or lose it.
VCU has had only 1 field goal in the last 7.5 minutes. That was Hopkins' rebound stick back. But for the moment, it's been enough. He already has the Player of the Year trophy. Now he wants the team trophy. Bernard Hopkins with his 17th double-double of the year. 12 points, 12 rebounds. 30 seconds to go. Donlin tied up. Simmons. That's a tough shot.
Oh, man, what a shot!
Stan Simmons with a rainbow 3. He's got 17.
Bob, that was incredible. Shooting that over Peabody. 6'4", the great leaper. And that cuts it to 1, 18 seconds left. This kid has had a ball game. Behind a 3 with a man on him. The rainbow jumper, and it's a 3-pointer. Look at that move.
I tell you, Peabody was so close to him, he almost fouled him.
But look at the extension on his shot. He gets up so high, a 42-inch vertical leaper, and he needed every 42 inches there to get that one over the outstretched hand of Peabody.
Stan Simmons is 5 for 7 from 3-point range.
And the elevator man, up he goes, down it goes.
Raising the hopes and the spirits of the Seahawks. Down just 1 with 18 seconds to go. UNCW is out of full timeouts. They do have a 20 remaining. VCU has 2 full timeouts, no 20, and the possession arrow belongs to Wilmington. So what do you do now, Kevin? Go for a quick steal, and if you don't get it, foul?
Exactly, and I'm sure that's what UNC Wilmington. You don't want any long passes to go down. Don't want to give up a basket here. You want to make sure you keep your man in front of you, make a gamble early, and then get a quick foul. You don't want to foul with 6 seconds left or 5 seconds. Foul early. Although VCU has been able to stroke that jumper or the free throws, I would imagine that Sonny Smith is going to try to get that ball into his good free throws hand, so at least it's got the percentages in his advantage. And Sonny knows who is the cool customer out there. And I'm sure he's going to have confidence in 1 or 2 guys to have that free throw shot down the stretch.
Well, this is a veteran team, 10 upperclassmen, 5 seniors, 5 juniors for VCU. They have adjusted the clock, 19.5 remaining. Length of the floor pressure by Wilmington. Hopkins runs the baseline. Patrick Lee ahead to Hamilton. Almost traveled. And Chappell, who converted 2 of 2 just a moment ago, will go back to the line and hope for deja vu all over again. Bill Mayhew gets the foul. It's his 3rd. And now 12.5 seconds remain.
Darren Moore doing a little talking out here to Chappell at the line.
Trying to get into his head, huh?
Exactly. He had something to say to Chappell. This is when you block it all out. And you don't want to think how important it is. You just want to relax. Just a free throw. Don't start thinking. This is for the NCAA. That's when you start getting nerves and it'll tighten you up. Man.
Nothing but net.
Like butter. Nice, fluid stroke.
This is to make it a 3-point VCU lead. serious CAA style. Now Sonny Smith will design three-point defensive strategy. Ivan Chappell coming up huge.
Oh, man. He's got ice water in his veins.
Well, Ivan Chappell is 7 of 8 at the free throw line. The rest of his teammates are 3 for 10.
Well, you know, it was really smart by Sonny Smith's crew to get that ball to Chappell when VCU was, or when UNC Wilmington was trying to foul. That was a very smart play. Now, you got to set up for the three here. No room to go for a deuce. They need a three, and you know VCU is going to be out on those three-point shooters. Might even want to foul before a guy gets into a three-point shot.
Well, that's interesting strategy. Not a bad point.
Well, you don't want to give up a three. A three will tie it.
Well, you better make sure that if you foul, you do it before he jacks one up.
Definitely.
So it's not 3 free throws.
Oh, you got that right. And, you know, they're only in the 1-and-1, so it wouldn't be 2 free throws. Let's see what VCU's strategy is here.
Donlin hurries it to Franklin. 10 seconds. And the Seahawks will use their 22nd timeout. Jerry Wainwright making sure the officials know it's a 20 because they don't have any full timeouts left. Now I think it would be a gamble to foul, Kevin, because they're in the front court.
Yep.
And if you foul a guy and he happens to just throw it up in the basket, you never know if the official's going to say 3 free throws.
Well, it's a judgment call because as soon as a player feels the contact, he'll throw it up and try to get continuation. And I have seen that happen. Right now, you want to apply all your defense out on the three-point area. You don't even mind if you give up a deuce. You don't want to give a look at a three. Even bait him. Let him go ahead and make a 2, but do not give up a 3.
Mark Byington will trigger the inbound. Simmons has had the hot hand. He has 5 three-pointers. He's being guarded by Peabody. Donlin hasn't made one yet. He's being guarded by Patrick Lee. Moore to Simmons. Has it knocked away. He's gonna, no, it's stolen by Peabody. And Peabody's fouled with 0.5 of a second to go.
The long arm of the law. Peabody, a tremendous defender, steps up and makes the best defense of his career.
Here's another look at VCU's defense.
There he gets a touch. Simmons trying to get a look, and he just shows the ball right in front of Peabody. And he took advantage of it, did the right thing, got fouled, 0.5 seconds left. And they start smelling the NCAA.
Well, we were brought to the attention of Ben Peabody because of his points in the first 2 games. 14 against Richmond, 12 against East Carolina. Tonight, Ben Peabody, no points, but 4 rebounds, a block shot, and 2 huge steals.
Great defense by the senior. He's had a terrific tournament. And that depth of Sonny Smith. When his big guys get in foul trouble, they have stepped up and come to play here in the second half. I'm sure he got on them at halftime. They didn't do much, 3 of 11 from the field. Hopkins could get involved, just took 1 shot, but it's been a different story here in the second half by VCU.
Sonny Smith used his last timeout just to make sure nothing can go wrong. VCU a half a second away from its first NCAA bid in 11 years. Leading 46-43, and Peabody can absolutely clinch it. Sonny Smith, much maligned during his tenure at VCU, is about to let bygones be bygones. intentionally missed the first, but I don't think Sonny had that in mind. He may want him to miss the second, although it wouldn't matter. He makes it, it's a 4-point game. There's the horn, and in its first year in the league, VCU is number 1. The Rams are CAA champions and NCAA bound. Sonny Smith, you have just won the championship. And VCU is headed to the NCAA tournament for the first time in 11 seasons. This was a team that stuck together all year long, and they capitalized the letters T-E-A-M. A team victory for VCU. The Rams 24-8, winners of 14 of their last 15 in their first fight of the tournament, and they come out the champions. Kevin and I are joined courtside by victorious head coach Sonny Smith of the VCU Rams. Sonny, did you give a fire and brimstone speech at halftime? What happened? What was the difference?
Not really. We had the wrong game plan. That basically, we decided we were going to run and tire them out, and then the same thing happened to us that happened in both the early ball games. We lost that rebounding edge that we used to have over everybody because we just played in there and pounded and pounded and pounded. But I got caught up in this fact that maybe we can run everybody down because we're playing nobody very much minutes. My English gone now too. But hey, we kind of settled down in the second half and started doing the things that we did to win earlier, and we finally got to what we've needed so badly here.
Well, Bernard Hopkins just 2 points at halftime. You made an adjustment at halftime, and he was just tremendous. He ended up having like 10 points, 10 boards in the second half alone. He's a great basketball player, and he's a winner. Kevin, he's a winner off the court. You don't. I might even coach another year if I had a guy like him. You get guys like him, it makes you want to coach. You get the other kind, you want to go to Hilton Head. Oh, my.
Sonny, you made mention when you won Coach of the Year that it was your most special Coach of the Year honor.
Probably
you've been to other NCAA tournaments. Is this your most special NCAA berth?
It's special because I've been letting these people down. Now, they didn't give me a full boat to go with when they jumped in that Metro, but I still been letting them down. And to be able to go under these circumstances in a league that we should have been in all along. This is the kind of league we need to be in for the type of support that we get. And I'm just so happy to go for these people. I might even quit.
Are you giving us a scoop?
No, I'm not, but I might.
Sonny, your bench has been so great all year long. It really came through for you here in this tournament. You're the white team, they call it. What a job they have done all
well, they've outscored the starters in every night except tonight. We said at the second half we're not going to go with them. We're just going to go with the regular rotation, and it ended up being the right thing to do. But I am so happy for these seniors. They get to go out and they get to go to the NCAA, and they rectified a lot of wrongs that we've had, and bless their hearts, I'm so happy for them.
Sonny, great to see that big wide smile on your face.
I might even tell another joke someday now. I used to be funny.
Now you're just a winner.
Now I'm just a winner. I'd rather be that anytime. Thank you very much.
Congratulations,
Sonny Smith, a very happy and relieved head coach of the CAA champion VCU Rams. We'll be back.
Ivan pulls the trigger, hits it. Play by Hamilton. German, right of the foul circle, fall away three. He's got it.
Ivan Chappell at the line with 12.5 seconds remaining. Everybody on their feet. Everybody ready to roar. But it's up to Chappell if they roar for VCU or Wilmington. 12.5 seconds. What a game. 44-43. Chappell to our right. Puts the first one up there. It is good. It is good. And it's 45-43. Now hit another one, Ivan. Put this one in, and the worst you can do is overtime. Chappell bends the knees, puts it up there, rolls around and in. It is 46-43, timeout VCU. And now the fans on their feet. They come up as one. They have waited 11 years. At VCU, 1985 was the last time the Rams made it to the NCAA tournament. 11 years later, they're 12.5 seconds away from ending what would appear to be to some fans a drought of 50 or 60 years. 46-43, 8.5 seconds to go in the game, regulation time. The man inbounding it is one of the best three-point shooters in the league, Byington. The question is, will he get the ball back as soon as he inbounds it? Byington will inbound it. Byington looking, still looking, gets it into Moore. Moore gives it out front, ball slapped away. Goes to pick it up as Simmons. Simmons drops, stolen away by Peabody. Peabody steals the ball and he's fouled with 0.5 seconds to go. Peabody steals the ball. That may do it. Peabody stole the ball. If he makes this, the Rams are going to the NCAA tournament. Punch your ticket somewhere. Put it in, Ben. Shot is up. No good. Missed it on purpose. Rebound. Mayhew throws it up the buzzer. Ball game's over. That's it. VCU can celebrate finally. They're going to the NCAA tournament. And boy, did they go off the floor in a hurry. Wow. They ran off the floor before the fans could catch them. That's the fastest they run all night long. And VCU, pent-up frustration of 11 years, they can tear the nets down. Rams win at 46-43.
Talk about a celebration, huh? Welcome to VCU Sports Talk without head coach Sonny Smith tonight because Sonny is on the road in Chicago, but we have lots of which we can speak with assistant coach Mike Ellis joining us in Sonny's stead while Sonny is in Chicago for an opportunity to appear with several other coaches of much renown on ESPN's special on March Madness tonight and tomorrow night at midnight. They're taping right now. Sonny, Jerry Tarkanian, Jim Herrick of UCLA, several other well-known coaches from around the country, so it's a super opportunity for Sonny to be there. He will be joining us via tape later on in the program, and we'll be back to talk about the results of that final play, the final few seconds that you just saw. What has happened since the last time we came together that has put VCU in the national championship spotlight coming up this coming weekend. Mike Ellis is here, so stay with us for more VCU Sports Talk right after this. Back with VCU Sports Talk, I'm Bill King with Mike Ellis, assistant coach of the VCU Rams. You're familiar with Mike, I know. Good to have you with us
Bill,
tonight.
good to be here.
And just tell us, Mike, what kind of reaction did you have watching the tape of those last few moments?
I had goosebumps all over again. That's the first time I've seen that. So it was really nice to be able to see a piece on the show and just realize those dreams coming together once again.
How did it feel on the bench at that time? Sonny was quoted after the game as saying that he really never had any doubt, never had a moment's thought of a loss.
I'll tell you, with about 30 seconds to go, he patted me on the leg and he said, don't worry, we're going to win this. It's supposed to be. And so I felt better when he told me that. I wish he had been able to make a few free throws himself, feeling that good. But you know, it was great, and I really felt good for him and for our kids because they've worked so hard.
Well, Mike, let's take a look at where that has left us now. When we see the Bullets CAA standings, the first place, that is the CAA championship, winning the tournament a week ago tonight, has put the Rams into the NCAA tournament at Indianapolis. And what can you tell us about Mississippi State?
Well, after watching them in 3 or 4 tapes today, we found them to be a very athletic, very strong, very big team that has a tremendous ability to defend on one end and can score from all 5 positions on the other end of the floor. They shoot the ball from 3 They can all put it on the floor, drive it into the paint, jump up over you and score. But that said, we've found some things we're going to try to pick on, and we're going to go from there. It's a very talented team, but I think they're playing a talented team also. And our kids are going with a great deal of confidence, and it's said today at practice, we're not going there to play one, we're going there to play two. And that type feeling can only help us play positively.
And a good bracket. You're in there with UCLA and Princeton.
Yeah, and there's a lot of great names there. And I hope this is the first of many for us. And I'd like to be able for folks to look at that and say there's another good name there too.
Yeah, well, let's hope that is the case indeed come this weekend at Indianapolis. Now, if we can, let's try to go back and and recapture some of how the Rams won the tournament this past weekend, and look at the opening against Richmond, game one against Richmond. I think there was no question the way the Rams came out to start that matchup Saturday that your kids were ready.
Well, we had geared everything in practice towards Saturday afternoon at noon. And I think you saw a rested group of kids. You saw a group that was extremely focused and coming off the best 5 days of practice we had had all season long, the best sustained 5-day period. And so I kind of anticipated a real strong effort, and I think the whole coaching staff did. And we got that early. And they came out like gangbusters, and the confidence level just shot straight up, and we jumped out to that lead. And it was just a good day for Rams and Ram fans.
I think one of the toughest chores for Tom Shoup this week has been pulling out the Pepsi highlights from that game, because just about every play could have been a highlight. As we take a look at the Pepsi highlights for that first game against Richmond, and as you say, the defensive intensity was there and execution at the offensive end both.
Well, we had talked all week about being able to jump out and the first 5 minutes being extremely focused in the first half, and you saw that. We got a couple quick turnovers and felt like that they would lead to easy scores, as you see here. But I think what we tried to do with Richmond is force shooters to be dribblers, and we backed off of dribblers and tried to make those guys be shooters, and it worked to some extent early, and the game plan moved along smoothly from there, and trying to play catch up against our group is very difficult, and we were able to force some of those easy opportunities, and by doing that we're laying the ball in, and it just puts a little bit of a stranglehold on their offense, and so good things happen for us as a result of our defense.
Were there any problems? Did you see anything that you weren't happy with?
Well, not in the first 20 minutes. Boy, it was tough to find something wrong with that. We talked about being a little more patient at times, but we were getting such good shots quickly. And those kids, we've worked awfully hard at recognizing good shots, and they just happened to come a little quicker in this game. I think part of that was being so focused, and we were very crisp passing, very crisp screening. Those were things we had concentrated all week on practice and doing, and you jump out and you see quick ball movement, quick reversal, which was a key for us, leading to a 3 from Ivan.
Tremendous confidence too. It was absolutely no hesitation in his taking that shot, for instance.
And he went through a slump during the middle part of the season, but Ivan, despite that hiccup he's got on his shot, he's able to make a 3, and when he's hitting a 3, we're awfully difficult to defend because it extends defenses, and you can't just key on Sherman and that's also true when Patrick or Ben is able to make those 3s. It's really difficult to defend all 5 spots on the floor when our guys are playing the way they did in this game.
It makes it even more difficult when it's Bernard or Marlowe making a 3.
Oh boy, I tell you, that couldn't have been in their scouting report. And one of the things that, as our people see there, we saw in a couple tapes before the game, in the previous game, we were able to sneak behind him on a secondary break a couple times, and because of Bernard's presence in the lane. And there you see John Smith in the lane, and they're paying so much attention to our posted up guy that we're able to sneak behind him. And now we've got the defense back down in there off the dunk, and when they have to come out and guard Marston from 3, and he nails one. So inside-out attack was something we keyed on. We were able to do it, and here we go back down inside and kick out for 3. We worked all week on that, in and out, and it's something that we continue to do in the second and third games, and we hope to take with us through the first round of the NCAA.
You really didn't lit up in the second half. Richmond tried to make a game out of it, and we got to give them credit. They didn't quit by any means, but the Rams really didn't back off at all.
No, and I think that was just a tribute to our kids' focus. This probably was our best sustained effort of the season for 40 minutes, and they were able to really come out again in the second half with near the same intensity of the first, and create some easy opportunities for us with our defense. And I tell you, when we're getting up tempo and finishing scores at the hole, we're pretty difficult to defend.
So the Rams come away with a big win to open the tournament, move into the semifinal round against East Carolina. And Mike, it seemed to me that if there were one note of consistency throughout the tournament, it had to be defense.
Yeah, we feel like we have one of the better defenses in our league, and when our kids come out and get after it the way they did in the tournament, you're going to have those nights where you don't put the ball in the hole, but there's always you can defend every night, and you saw a great commitment to defense during the tournament, and it had to be because we played three very good basketball teams.
And East Carolina, as we see in the highlights of Game 2, East Carolina jumped out to the quick lead. It was 15-5, I believe. And so Rams had some ground to make up.
Well, I think that what we were cautious and wary of was it wasn't going to be the same easy start. East Carolina defended us well in both games during the season, and we didn't anticipate falling behind the way we did. But points were tough early, and I think that if the second group saved us, and if it wasn't for that energy that they brought to the floor, we may not be sitting here talking tonight about games this weekend. The second group came out and really sparked us off the bench. Marcus Reed, Ben Peabody, Scott Marston, Marlo Talley, John Smith, all five of those kids just came to the floor with great energy. And it's something that they've prided themselves on, and you even see in practice. They've taken this two-team approach, the white jerseys against the black jerseys, to another level for us. And they even warm up on different ends of the floor now in practice. So, what you see here is that second group, the white jerseys, just being extremely effective for us. East Carolina scored 6 points against the second group in the first half, and they were just terrific.
Well, that second team, as you mentioned, John Smith had really a strong tournament. Some people we have asked about John and his playing time throughout the course of the season on this program, but John had a strong tournament.
Well, John Smith has really been a big contributor to us over the last 3 to 4 weeks of the season, and I think that's just a function of him being healthy. And I know that the enthusiasm he brings to the team is really beneficial, and you see part of a result of his enthusiasm right there, Ben Peabody getting it going a little bit. And I really am really proud of the way John has responded, because it would have been easy for him to have quit on us, and he certainly didn't, and has been extremely productive.
Ben had a remarkable knack throughout the course of the tournament, as we saw right there on successive plays, of being able to come in and just ignite off the bench.
Oh, I told him today in practice, I wish the season were 1 month longer, and he may help us go one more month, because he has been just super over the past 3 weeks himself. And I tell you, I felt like if it could have been a tie with he and Bernard both for the MVP of the tournament, because Ben Peabody was outstanding and really sparked us, and I felt like he was instrumental in us winning this championship.
Well, I'll tell you what, we may be getting ahead of ourselves just a little bit, because we do want to talk about some of the hardware that's been collected over the last week or 10 days or so, and we'll do that when we come back and take a look at the Texaco Star of the Week and much, much more. Stay with us. We'll be right back. He and, well, actually Ben Peabody made the all-tournament team. Let's take a look at the Texaco Star of the Week for us. A gentleman, Mike, that I think you'd have to say the Rams would not have won that championship game. No. Might not even have been in it.
You know, I tell you, Ben Peabody was very instrumental in our success in the tournament. He contributed on both ends of the floor. I think he showed a little bit more aggressiveness on the offensive end, and that really sparked us. And defensively, I know several times during the weekend I just said to him, lockdown. And when we say lockdown, we really need somebody shut down from the other team. And Ben was the guy that we turned to several times for that. Stan Simmons from UNC Wilmington, who we thought was going to shoot us out of the gym. When we went to Ben, he got 1-3 on Ben, against Ben, and that was the one with Ben hanging all over him late in the ball game. So Ben just really was instrumental in our success, and the newfound aggressiveness on the offensive end was a spark for him, and I really think that got him going on the defensive end. And what a wonderful kid to have this success, and he's worked extremely hard for us. And had it not been for an injury in the preseason, Ben, this may have been the norm for Ben all year, but he's come back and responded, and he's gotten his weight back up where it needs to be, and he's just been outstanding down the stretch.
And from a spectator's point of view, it was a delight to see him play because he so clearly was enjoying himself.
Oh yeah, and I think that's a tribute to all 5 of those kids on the second group. They really do enjoy playing together. They enjoy giving us that spark off the bench, and you see that enthusiasm, and it spreads through our team. And then I think in this tournament it spread through the stands as well. So it was great. Everybody could feed off of that.
Several times in the course of the season, and you've been there as well, to hear Sonny make this comment, but he has said how this is a special group.
It is.
For Sonny Smith, of all the teams that he's had success with. Well, in the U.S. Air Spotlight this week, Sonny gathered the 5 seniors here on the set with him to just kind of rap a little bit, if you will, and we know you will enjoy this. Give a listen to Sonny and the seniors in the Spotlight this week.
You guys know we really have had a great year, but at one time we were kind of struggling, and I don't know if it was there had to be a turning point. When do you think it happened, John?
When the white team came to practice every day. We got together, came together as a team. I think some of the guys, sat down and thought about some things like they're going to do what it takes to win.
I think that had a lot to do. Do you think having 2 teams made this team a much better team? Now, very few clubs do that. What do you think?
Oh, yeah, I believe so. Like, I guess back in the day when Tulane, they had 2 squads. They had a defensive squad come in, and I think we about did the same thing as they did. So that's a good turning point.
Do you think Ben would have gotten to play if we hadn't had 2 teams? What do you think about that, Adam?
I think he would have played.
You think he would have played?
Yeah, because
would you? You have been wanting to all year show them how I do the scouting report in the dressing room at the games. Give me a little example of that right now. How's that work for me? What? Huh?
No,
Tell it.
I was doing the huddle. You be in the huddle. Sonny be like, let's play some defense. DF. Then he'd be like, let's rebound. RED. Then he'd be like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, we get in. Then we go out.
But that's bound to be real effective. Now, where do you think that Bernard got the Player of the Year? But where do you think Bernard would be right now if you hadn't hit those 4 free throws in that final game?
I don't know. I'll probably be somewhere dead. So everybody try to kill me.
But we kind of felt we were going to win the championship, and I think the 2-team effect really made the difference. But I wonder sometimes how it would have been if we'd have used a different style of play. What if we'd have run with the ball all year, Bernard? What do you think?
I had a lot more turnovers.
Do you agree with that? We all agree with that. Everybody agrees that. Hold up your head.
I mean, we'd have ran when this makes the whole season. I think I'd have had a lot more turnovers. But I think with the 2-team style we played, I think that really helped us with the chemistry. I think at the beginning of the year we didn't really have chemistry. And then as the year went on, everybody just knew their role and what it took to just go out and win. And we had one goal, and that was we had several team goals, and that was just to go out and win the league and go to the tournament. And I think that's something we did so far. And like I said, the season's not over for us, so we're just taking it one game at a time.
Exactly.
I think the fact that you let the white team let us run with makes and misses helped us out, because the players on that team, we're more of a up-tempo style. We got a different style than the black team, and I think that helped us out a lot.
Marla, do you think Bernard shot too much?
No, we didn't give him the ball. He wouldn't have scored, and he wouldn't be CAA Player of the Year.
I gave you a chance to really put it on him there, and you didn't do it. But John, I think you would agree with me. He probably did. He shoot too much, John?
I think he should ask Ivan that out of East Carolina.
What happened at East Carolina?
But nah, he would not pass it down there. When I'm posting the 3 play,
How you gonna post it up?
I got a man posting. I gotta post it and he don't want to get to it. When I clear the arm, I'm like, there you gotta get to it. So he don't want to get to it out of the post. See, that's the only thing. Everything else, he did his job.
I know one thing about John. Beginning of the year, as soon as he go in, whistle blown, foul. He was an instant foul.
Why do you think that, John? Was there any malice or forethought there?
My arm heavy, dropped down. I mean, it was hard. I mean, putting it up, it dropped down. I mean, it wasn't me.
What's the funniest thing that's happened here this year in a ball game?
Oh, man.
Tell it.
Not in a ball game. It happened on the side. I was on the bench, and you ran down, kicked your leg up, and Scott was checking in, and you fell. Something gave out. I mean, that was the funniest thing I ever seen. All I heard is Sonny down.
John says you can tell my bad leg because the left shoe is always a lot cleaner than the right because I never walk on it. What was other funny things that might have happened? Can you think of something?
Talking about the Richmond game during the tournament.
Tell
We
it.
put Chris Wood in. Announcer said,
Said he's putting in the manager.
yeah, putting the manager in. And I was like, I think that was the
Said he
most
just
funny.
suited him up in the back. Ben, you live the longest distance from here. It was quite an adjustment coming here. How long did it take you?
A year?
It absolutely took Ben a year, but now what do you think of the place?
I'm straight now, but when I first got here, if you was walking down the street with VCU shirt on, people wanted to talk bad at you, but I went down Broad Street the other day. Everybody had something good to say. I'm walking down the street and people honking the horn, congratulating me, so it feels real good now that we're winning and everything, going to the big dance.
Did you think that would happen when you came here?
Yeah, I mean, that was everybody's goal. We always start at the start of the Metro Conference. We came out strong. It didn't end up like the way we wanted to, but we felt like this next year, since it was pretty much a young team because we were all transfers. It was the first year to play together, but I think that last year's experience helped us for this year to get to the tournament.
No question. Hey, each one of you, if you would, tell me how you felt when the horn went off. I mean, really, how'd you feel, Bernard?
The last 5 minutes of the game, I was just lost.
Tired?
I wasn't tired. I was just, like when we go to the line and, for example, when Ivan or whoever was shooting the foul shot, I never looked up at it. I always kept my head down. Was like, I knew I had to go down and just play defense and get the rebound, but the last 5 minutes, it seemed like I was in a whole nother world. And then when the horn went off, I ran in the locker room.
I was wondering why you guys ran.
I was just following Sherm.
Did you think it was a lynch mob headed our way or what?
I don't know what happened. I was just following Sherm and George, and then I realized what happened. I ran back out. It's the greatest feeling in the world.
Did y'all go around, come back in the other door?
It's the greatest feeling in the world. I mean, you can't explain it.
What'd you feel, Ben?
I felt relief because I know it was gonna be put on me because I let that man bust that truck. I was just praying I was gonna knock the free throws down and give you another chance. Just after the buzzer went off, I just seen the crowd rush. It just felt good. We were all out there together. That's what we worked for. It felt real good.
How about you, Ivan?
But it came down to me, hitting the free throws. I was nervous a little bit, but I ain't really sure.
Yes, sir. A very special few minutes there with 5 young men who helped make this a very special season for you, Sonny, and the fans as well. Congratulations, Mike. Super effort. Now, we got at least one more game Thursday night at Indianapolis against Mississippi State. Tell us anything in particular about the matchups against Mississippi State.
Well, as I said earlier, they're a very deep group of players who can score from all 5 spots on the floor. And we got our work cut out for us. They're big, they're athletic, they shoot the 3, they can rebound it, and they lead the SEC in defense. I believe they hold their opponents to 39% shooting. So it's going to be difficult, but we have a couple weaknesses picked out. We're going to go attack them and do the best we can.
Super. Great. I think the team is really ready. Congratulations again to the CAA champions. The CAA champion athletic director will be joining us for your questions at 353-1111 on Blab, on HTS. See you next time, and thanks for joining us tonight for the VCU Rams and enjoying the championship of the Colonial Athletic Association. See you next time. Back with VCU Sports Talk, and again, Sonny Smith, you'll be able to catch him tonight and tomorrow night on ESPN after Sports Center. That'll be at midnight tonight and tomorrow night. ESPN's March Madness special. Sonny is out in Chicago tonight taping that along with the likes of Rick Majerus and Jerry Tarkanian and Jim Herrick and several other the top coaches around the country. So it's a super opportunity for the VCU Rams, and no one would know that better or appreciate it more than the gentleman who slides in next to me now, and that is Dr. Dick Sander. Dick, great to have you on the show.
It's always good, Bill, to be on.
And congratulations on the success of the team this year. I know you feel real excited about that.
Well, it's just really a great feeling to see all the success that this bunch of young men accomplished, and a great coaching staff. And I think it's just a combination of a lot of hard work, and a strong commitment by 12 young men to make something positive happen, and that's what really manifested itself in their success. So I think that's great.
I know you will be with the team Thursday in Indianapolis, right?
Exactly.
And then you'll be back here Friday?
Yeah, this is a really busy time for us. I think, whenever you host a tournament, it's always going to be busy because, there's a million things you got to really take care of. So then when you compound that with having a team going somewhere else to play, it really becomes a lot of details and a lot of work that has to be done. But I'll tell you, this is the time of the year you want to be busy. If we weren't busy, we'd just be sitting around moping. So I'll trade this for not being busy any time of the year. And the great thing about for me is that I have such a wonderful staff. I mean, Jeff Cups and Tom Shoup and B.J. Burton and Blanton Jones and John King and all the people in the athletic department have done an incredible job. They've worked countless hours to make this tournament that we're bringing here a success. So, they're really the ones who should get the kudos because they've done all the work, and they're the ones that are going to be here and make it happen on, Friday and Sunday. So it's really a great feeling to be able to host this tournament and bring this type of event to Central Virginia and be such an important part of this week. I think it's really neat. And we're very excited about the field that we got. Great field,
Oh, it's unbelievable.
If we sat here and tried to say who we would want, understanding the conferences that really need to be split up to get Georgetown with Allen Iverson, I mean, just having him would be a tremendous feat. But
North Carolina,
so
and getting,
big here. UNC, and having Dean Smith and John Thompson, two of the greatest coaches in the history of college basketball, in the same building. And then you get Texas Tech, who came in at 28-1, and I think University of New Mexico at 27-4. I mean, you've got some great teams with some great players, some known better than others. But wow, I mean, for a basketball fan, it will be an incredible time Friday and Sunday at the Richmond Coliseum. So we're just thrilled that those are the folks that we got, and it'll be a great event. And then couple that with the wonderful work that Downtown Presents have done to put together what we call Hoops headquarters down in Festival Park around the Coliseum, where there's going to be big screen TVs, and there's going to be bands, there's going to be food and drink, and just turn the whole downtown area into just a big party, a basketball party. That's why we call it Hoops headquarters. So, even if people don't have tickets, they're going to be able to share in the excitement, go down there and see the bands from the different colleges, the cheerleaders. It'll just be a wonderful, wonderful weekend.
And let me say this now, 353-1111 is the number to call with your questions for Dick Sander, including, I'm sure, where you might be able to find a sweatshirt or a lovely cap, any of the assorted memorabilia from this weekend. It's all great looking stuff, Dick. You designed it yourself.
I did. That's one of my real strong points is fashion design. I teach as an adjunct faculty in fashion design.
There you go. That explains it.
Yeah, would that be a mess? But no, we have a lot of neat merchandise that we're going to make available to the public. And if people like this sweatshirt or any of the hats, they just need to call Eric Tyler in our athletic department, and he can make arrangements for them to have it. Because it's amazing how quick this stuff goes once the other teams get here. Because everybody wants a souvenir of their team's participation, and it's just kind of become a ritual of the teams that travel to the NCAA tournament. So we feel very good about that, and it's a lot of work, but it's a way for us to generate a few bucks too. So,
Dick, a number of questions that I've got to ask you about. The last time the tournament was here, this sub-regionals, rounds 1 and 2, was 1990.
Right.
Is that correct? That year, the tournament was sold out.
Right, it sure was.
How do you get it sold out a year in advance? I mean, you got a number of folks now around town all wanting to say, hey, I'm a big Georgetown fan, I want to be there, I want to see the game. They can't get in. So, of course, they're great opportunity to come down to Hoops headquarters.
Right.
It's a wonderful consolation prize, if you will. But from your standpoint, how do you get the building sold out?
Well, I think Central Virginia is a great area for college basketball, and I think, we were fortunate to, the NCAA tournament had never been in Virginia until we got the bid and made it available. I think we did a good job of marketing that, and now, once you've had the kind of success we had in 1990, everybody now is very anxious to participate and be involved in it. So, and then, we kind of coupled that with a lot of success in hosting the women's regional in 1993, and then in 1994 we hosted the women's Final Four. And so I think people have gotten the idea that VCU really can host these events, and they're fun, and it's something that you need to participate in. So I think Richmond is a city that really likes those kind of events. I mean, for example, this year, University of Richmond did a great job hosting the soccer national championship and sold out 21,000 seats. So I think Richmond is one of those cities that really like these type of events. So we have been very aggressive in pursuing those type of happenings that just are good for everybody.
And this is a case, I'm sure, where success breeds success, that once you have shown you can do it, you have much more credibility with the NCAA.
No question, and I really believe that we'll get this tournament back in the year 2000 or 2001, and a big part of that is the people that work. Like I said before, I know that Bill Hancock, who is the NCAA basketball championship staff member, he feels very comfortable working with our staff, with Jeff Cups, and I know he feels very comfortable with Tom handling the media, and that's important to the NCAA because they want things done right, and they want them done in their own way, and they know that we're going to do that, and they know that it'll be a great venue for their championship. So that's why we have worked so hard to make it that event, because we don't have as big a facility as some places, so you got to make them feel good about everything else, and that's been our goal, and we've been fortunate to meet that goal.
Obviously, it's worked out that way. Well, let's check and see, Dick. We'll step away from the tournament of this coming weekend for just a moment and see how folks are, check everyone's comfort level with the Adidas trivia question for this week, which is asking that you name the Rich Food Colonial Athletic Association all-tournament team for 1996. We had mentioned a couple of the principals earlier, but we want you to give us a call at 353-1111 and tell us the Rich Food Colonial Athletic Association all-tournament team for 1996. And we'll do that. Listen to your entries, your opportunity when we come back. So stay with us. More VCU Sports Talk, looking ahead to the NCAA tournament when we come back. Stay with us. VCU Sports Talk with Dr. Dick Sander tonight. Dick Sander, of course, you recognize as the athletic director for many, many years at VCU, and a man principally responsible, hey, let's face it, for bringing the NCAA tournament to Richmond in terms of the men's first and second round regionals 1990 this year. The women's regionals several years ago, the women's Final Four. So the NCAA, very familiar with Richmond. Richmond loves the NCAA's. Dick, we're expecting a big crowd downtown again this week.
Well, we really are, and I think it does so much for the city of Richmond. I think, first of all, there's a tremendous economic impact. When we had the Women's Final Four here, it was about $10 million. Our business school did a study, so that's significant. But I think the other thing is it just really enhances the quality of life for all Richmonders, because it's an event that is a national status, and people can really participate in it. So I think that's neat. There's a lot of benefits to having that kind of championship and bringing those kind of events to Richmond. But a lot of people make it happen. The city of Richmond has been wonderful in supporting that. You know, Mr. Bob has been just tremendously supportive, so, you know, we appreciate that. That's certainly something that is very positive. Ollie Harper, the general manager of the Richmond Coliseum, you know, the people down there have worked very hard, and there's a lot of time commitment and a lot of hard work that goes on with them behind the scenes. So, you know, the facility has been very, very easy to work with for this tournament. So, you know, we appreciate Ollie, we appreciate the city and their leadership, because it takes a whole bunch of people to make this thing a success.
I think, you know, from a spectator standpoint, you watch the game, you see it on TV, and you think it's, well, it's a special game because it's the tournament, it's counting down to the end of the season, etc. But it's just another basketball game, and it's not. It's far from it. How many media people coming in from Georgetown, 100 maybe, or 80 following UNC? It's incredible, the logistical demands to put this tournament together.
It really is. The way this tournament has developed over the years, it has really become just such a major, major event. And like you mentioned, there's the media that you have to deal with, and then the transportation for the media, and the lodging for the media. Then, you know, you have 8 teams coming in. You have to do the same thing for each of those teams. And then you got NCAA representatives coming in, and you got referees coming in, and all those kind of people have their own very particular needs and things that you have to do for them. And then you have to sell 11,800 tickets or whatever that number is. And then, you know, you work with so many different people and so many different entities. And the NCAA has really gotten to the point where it used to be they kind of say, okay, put on the tournament. Now, I mean, it is step by step. So it's become much more a matter of making sure that you abide by all of their guidelines too. So, but you know, it's great. It's a great week.
Well, Dick, let's see what some of the folks on the lines have to say. Ray, you're on the air. Go ahead, please.
How y'all doing tonight?
Doing well.
Great.
Dick, I just wanted to congratulate you and the program and the coaches for another great year here at VCU basketball. I know a lot of work's been done and a lot of downside on Sonny sometimes, but I think the cream has come to the top finally, and we're really proud of that.
Well, Ray, I appreciate that. I'd like to take a lot of credit for this, but unfortunately I don't have much to do with it. I don't have anything to do with it, to be perfectly honest. The people that really allowed this team to be successful are Sonny, Mike Ellis, Chris Cheeks, and Tyrone Beeman. Couldn't think of who our other coach was there for a minute. I'll tell you, I think I've gone brain dead. But those guys did a great job, Coach. And then 12 young men who just were committed to being successful. You know, it's really interesting because sometimes you know, VCU's program gets beat up by certain folks because we have some junior college transfers and we have some other transfers. And, you know, it's amazing to me because you look at some of the junior college players that we've had in the past and the successes that they've been after they've finished school, after they've graduated from school. Kids like Chris Cheeks and Vince Wilson and Brian Whitley and Craig Yulee and Bobby Reddish. And the list goes on and on. Those people have graduated. They have very responsible jobs in the community. They're great citizens, and they're good basketball players. So, you know, if we could get these same type of quality individuals, irrespective of whether they're junior college graduates, transfers, it doesn't matter to me because they're class young men who represent the university just tremendously well, and they win basketball games. So, you know, if that's not what you want, then, you know, I'm a little confused about what we're trying to accomplish in this profession.
Well, I agree with you, Dick, but there's still a lot of people behind the scenes that make this happen, and y'all got a good group down there because we know quite a few of y'all, and everybody works extremely hard down there. But I did want to ask you a question. Do y'all have a feel yet for how many fans we got going to Indianapolis? Or I know it's still a lot going, but...
Yeah, I think we're probably, right now, we had about somewhere between 100 and 125 folks call today. So we're not sure exactly how many will wind up going, Ray, but it'll be fun.
If we win the first game, which I feel confident we are, a couple of people have asked me, you know, about tickets availability for the next game up there. Do you have any idea on that?
I think we'll have tickets, yeah, that won't be a problem. If we win that first game, we'll be fine for Saturday.
Okay, good talking to y'all, and good luck to everybody.
Thanks, Ray.
Okay.
Ray, thanks for the call. Angie, be patient. We'll be with you when we come back. But right now, we're going to step aside. Stay with more VCU Sports Talk, if I can continue to talk about the NCAA tournament, looking ahead to next weekend. We'll be right back. VCU Sports Talk with Dick Sander and Angie. You are on the air. Go ahead, please.
Hi.
Hey.
How are you?
Doing well.
I was wondering if you could tell me how I go about getting tickets to the Carolina game Sunday night.
Well,
that's a tough one. What I would advise, there aren't any tickets right now, Angie. What you probably need to do is just go down to Hoops headquarters and kind of hang around. Prior to the event, there always seems to be some tickets out there, but right now there aren't any. It's sold out. The other thing that may happen is the lottery is going to have a kind of a giveaway for lucky losers. If you take your lottery tickets down to Hoops headquarters, which is down in Festival Park, on Thursday they're going to have a drawing at different times. So I would advise people who want tickets to do that.
Okay.
And I think the best way to get tickets will just be, I think there'll be people hanging around down there that may have some tickets. So that's what I would recommend. But the lottery is one of the sponsors of Hoops headquarters, and they're going to give some tickets away to lucky losers of the lottery.
Okay, thanks so much.
Sure.
Thanks,
bye-bye.
Angie.
Uh-huh.
See you at Hoop headquarters then, I guess. Lots going on down there. Okay, Fred, you're up next. Go ahead, please.
Hey, how's it going tonight?
Doing okay.
I was wondering, what's Danny Kotek up to these days?
You know, Danny comes to all the games, and I see him all the time. And, of course, you know, he was one of the great VCU players. You know, he's working. He's doing a good job. I'm not sure exactly where, but he's around all the time. He's been very, very good for the program. And another young man who came here from a pretty far distant place and decided to cast their life in Richmond. So I think that's a tribute to his feelings for VCU and the city of Richmond.
How about Edmund?
Edmund's around. You know, of course, his son's a player at you know, Old Dominion, and Edmund's always around. We're actually having a clinic associated with the NCAA tournament on Saturday morning, and Edmund is one of the counselors at the camp. So he's always around. He works most of the camps that we have. See him around. He's an AAU coach here in town, so Edmund's doing fine.
And in fact, Edmund still plays a little basketball with the Court Authority.
And
Fred, thanks for the call. Now, Dick, tell us real quick again about NCAA Hoop headquarters. That will open up.
We'll open up at noon on Thursday, and of course we'll have big screen TVs down Festival Park in a tent. There's a big tent that's going to be out there, and also a huge screen TV in the Richmond Center, so you can go down there and have a lot of food, a lot of drink, plus there'll be bands and there'll be acts going on continually during Thursday, starting Thursday at noon, then it basically runs continually until the tournament's over on Sunday, late Sunday afternoon. But on Thursday from 6 to 9, there's a band. I forget which one it is, but you can call Downtown Presents and find out. And then somebody told me that on Saturday night, I think from 8 to midnight, there's another band at the Richmond Center who is one of the great bands.
Skip Castro.
Yeah, that's it. And they say he's great. I mean,
this is a reunion.
Yeah, that's right.
Special event.
They say it's really, really going to be a wonderful evening. So you can go watch the games, hear the band. It'll just be a heck of a deal. But great games, great excitement. But you can go down there, watch the games on big screen TVs, hang around, see all the team bands, the team cheerleaders. It should just be a great time.
So it's not just tied to the games which are here at the Coliseum.
Right.
We can go down Thursday and watch VCU's games.
Right, exactly.
Watch the whole weekend worth of events. And the opportunity is there, possibly, if you're real lucky.
Right, to get some tickets. There'll be some tickets raffled off there, or the right to buy some tickets. So, you know, if you really want to take a chance, you can come down there, and really nothing ventured and nothing gained. But I think, you know, that people will be able to have a chance to get some tickets, and that's kind of exciting. You know, I know Downtown Presents has some tickets, and they're going to just raffle them off to some lucky folks down there.
Dick, there have been a lot of questions over the course of the year about VCU joining the Colonial Athletic Association after its years in the Metro. I guess that move to the Colonial at this moment feels pretty good, doesn't it?
Well, it really does. You know, winning the championship certainly is one thing, but to deal with people with integrity, to deal with a conference that has wonderful leadership in Tom Yeager, you know, that's kind of new for us. At least we didn't have those same type of situations the previous 4 years. So I think, you know, dealing with people with integrity, great leadership, and, you know, people who are committed to the well-being of the student athlete, that's really nice to have association with those people. people. And then when you win the championship and go to the NCAA tournament, that really just pulls it all together. So it certainly was a wonderful situation for us, and we're very appreciative. Plus, we got $1.3 million leaving the Metro. Those guys at South Florida and UNC Charlotte, they paid $1 million to get in that new conference and fired both their coaches. So you got to like our situation a whole lot better.
All right, real quick wrap up. We have CAA Coach of the Year, Sonny Smith, Player of the Year in Bernard Hopkins, the Tournament MVP in Bernard Hopkins. VCU goes to the NCAA Tournament for the first time in 11 years. Thursday night at Indianapolis. Dick Sander will be there, be back here Friday for the start of the NCAA East Sub-Regional here. So, big time. We'll see you back here next Monday night for more VCU Sports Talk. Thanks for being part of the season tonight.